listeners, and welcome back to Yeah We Read It. I'm one of your hosts, Maggie.
And surprise, I'm also one of your hosts, and my name is Laura.
Surprise, you've known this for 5 years, but what you haven't known is that we are covering Lynn Painter's new book, Fake Skating, today. Simon and Schuster were very nice, and they sent it to us to read an advanced copy.
Yes.
And it is a fun little romantic story,
A little woo woo smooch smooch, if you will.
a little woo woo smooch smooch. Lynn Painter loves writing those.
I mean, hey, she found her niche, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for Miss Lynn Painter being like, yep, you know what? Romance, high school romance, we're in.
I completely agree because as someone who has really deeply fallen into the romance genre in the past few years, as I have been bringing up on the podcast, between fantasy and Emily Henry's more grounded, realistic adult
Hmm.
romance, I think Lynn Painter strikes a very good chord of capturing kisses that have a lot of tension that would satisfy, I think, horny high school readers like myself if I read
Again,
them.
we love a fully clothed kissing moment.
A fully clothed kissing. It's like
Who's to
reader
disregard something
friendly.
as intimate as a clothed kiss?
Yeah, exactly. It's like closed kissing, so the parents can be like, "Hey, my kid's gonna read the closed kissing book," and the clothed, the clothed, not the closed, but they are probably closed mouth, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's
Um,
kissing in this book, is what I'm saying.
and this is a jump from, we've always been following Wes and Liz in their adventures for the past two episodes. We got some new characters. We got a new little tidbit of relationship. So that's the vibe we're jumping into for this episode.
And we're not traveling too far, actually, because one of our titular characters, Alec, who we'll open with, is canonically Liz's cousin,
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah. Like in the first couple pages, I noted that he mentions that his cousin like religiously makes soundtracks, and he kind of adopted that from her. So, very cool that we are staying within the family tree and touching base with Alec, who is in Minnesota.
You know, everyone in this family deserves love, and Alex is gonna find us in his book because he is flipping his lid. This girl, Dani Collins, is coming back to Southview, his city, and it seems like she's kind of an ex of his from seventh grade, a former flame.
Yeah, we kind of get the vibe that, they were like childhood best friends, but they shared their first kiss. And then she moved away because her dad had a fight with her grandfather, and they stopped coming around every summer because the family tensions were too high. But before she left, they had their first kiss. And he's still mad at her for what she did. We don't know what that is, though. We just kind of get the I'm still mad at this girl, and we don't know if it's like, what did she ghost you? Did
Gotta be
she
something
kiss
bad
somebody
because he is
else?
holding a grudge.
Yes.
Dani is moving in with her grandpa and her mom. It's official because her mom just got a divorce from her dad,
Yeah,
who's,
so
yeah.
tensions are high because they haven't talked to Grandpa Mick in a long time, after that fight that they had forever ago.
Yes, Grandpa Mick does not like Daddy-O because at really bad setting too, at his wife, her grandma's funeral, they got in this big fight about how Danny's father basically is always taking them away from the family, and also how her father took away her mother too,
Yikes.
and not good.
Not good. Not good for anybody involved. We learned that Grandpa Mick lives next to this guy, Benji, who Dani also knew when she was a kid. He's a rich kid that sucks, basically. Like, that's his whole character description.
He really it made me laugh so hard because we're described and open to him as having facial hair, which is a big ick for me. And then I mean, I guess men are, but it's whatever. Facial hair, and he has a blazer on too.
Ew.
And Danny's mom is like, that Benji's kind of looking like a snack now. And I'm like, I'm sorry, if a high schooler with facial hair and a blazer, I know exactly what version of high school this guy is. Absolutely not. This would not be like, he's gotten
No.
cute.
No, no. It's
No.
anybody in high school who's casually wearing a blazer around, I have questions. Um, Grandpa Mick does get home as they're unpacking. It's a very awkward reunion. He can only think of saying, "You got tall" to Dani, which is like, and she's like, and she notes like, "Is this positive? Is this negative? Like, what does that
Yeah.
mean?"
Is it a sufficient enough apology? No, it's just a neutral, you got tall.
Yeah.
And bad news for Dani, who has been trying to avoid Alec because they were exchanging letters for a bit when she moved to Germany. Letters just stopped coming in from him. So in
Yeah.
her mind, she's like, this guy ghosted me. They are going over to Alec's family's house for dinner
Yeah,
that night.
thrust into the action. I guess we should say that Danny's mom and Alec's mom are best friends. That's why there's this deep connection there still.
Mm.
Alec, we get a POV from him. This is a dual POV book. Alec's in shock that they're coming for dinner, but we also learn here that Grandpa Mick is a huge hockey legend, and all of Alec's dad's friends keep inviting themselves to this dinner because they want to meet him, which I think is hilarious.
Vibes are lit. Yeah. Alec's dad was in a car accident, so car accident, he might be moving slowly, but it's not going to keep the party down, as Laura says. All his friends are over. He managed, though, I'll say, he cranked out a few twins in the past 5 years, so, like,
Yeah, it's
he's
been a
still
long
got it
recovery, but
going.
he's doing good. Alec is doing anything to get out of this dinner. He does not want to see Dani yet. He gets invited to a bonfire. But his whole thing is like he's trying to like stay out of trouble. Uh, Lynn Painter uses the phrase here that he has to keep his nose clean. And I legitimately was like, does he have
You have a Coke problem? I thought so, too.
I was like, oh shit, like how dark are we going to get here? And it's like, no, he just like can't get drunk at the high school party.
I was like, okay, so Benji is a representative of the super rich kids, and also this is just like a super rich kids private school, but no, no Coke,
No, no,
sadly.
there's no Coke in this book, listeners. I'm really sorry to let you know that he just can't get in trouble at these parties.
He can't get in trouble, but he is in trouble because Dani is on his brain, and there's a super hot girl, Tawny, that he's like, fuck, I can't even focus on Tawny, this blonde girl with big tits, because Dani is on my mind. Also, I will say, Alex says fucking like all the time in this book. I don't know how I felt about it as a character choice, but sometimes it did age him up in my head. I was like, man, this guy's kind of a douche. He's just always saying
I mean,
fucking
like
Tawny, the
Alex's
big
whole thing
tits.
is
I don't
he's
think he
like a
says that.
6'5" hockey player. Can we really expect the most like eloquent verbal
That is
descriptions
fair.
from him?
It is, like, very Midwestern. For some reason, hockey was really big in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, like, my hometown. We had,
Yeah,
the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders was the
that's
name.
an awesome name.
So, I guess I kind of get the vibe of, like, lumbering hockey player who's just a little bit of a himbo, to be honest. It was kind of they were all around my city.
That's so funny. Danny, while Alec misses out on this dinner, does like stalk in his room, which I thought was a little weird. But Alec's mom is like, he'll be back. Don't worry. It's normal that you're
He's, like,
in his
desperately
room.
looking for these letters as proof that maybe she was still on his mind. I don't know, I go through my
Yeah.
friends' phones
And
sometimes to see their
we
texts
also
about
learned
me,
that
but
Alec cannot process his emotions because while he's trying to keep his nose clean at this party, he's immediately trying to get drunk because he's so stressed about Danny being back in town.
it also seems like at some point, not only is he gonna take a photo with a bong, like a weed, not beer bong, weed bong, it seems like I got in my head that he was going to slide down the hill, go sledding, and also be hitting the bong, and I was like,
Yeah,
"This
like,
is
yeah, he
not
gets
gonna
handed
bode
this
well."
bong and we're like, "Oh, he's gonna take a huge rip from it." We learn later that he doesn't, and he also doesn't even go sledding, so, like, what's the point?
I imagine him on one of those little saucers twirling around, hitting a bong, and I was
Yeah.
like, visually stunning, a
Yeah,
stunning image.
Maggie and I are too vice driven for this novel and where it goes. We're like, he clearly has a coke problem. No, he's
Yo,
clearly
dude,
gonna take a rip from this bong. No.
Video of him hitting a bong, though, sledding would go viral on TikTok, I'll say
Yeah,
that.
100%. Dani gets prepped for ground zero day of school.
Mhm.
Her grandpa's like, dude, it's rivalry week. She's from Germany, so she's like, I don't really understand like the American sized sports week spirit things.
Yeah, because everyone in Minnesota is obsessed with hockey. She's like,
Yeah.
"Jesus," and they're all talking about this guy Zeus. Who's this guy Zeus? Even her
Who's this
grandpa
guy
dropped
Zeus?
his name in convo last night.
Exactly. And then we get introduced to Cassie, who's like Danny's onboarding buddy for school. She's really nice. She's like super with it. She's a manager of the team. So she helps record like social media videos, helps deliver equipment. And we learn pretty quickly as she's talking about like the hockey getup. Zeus is Alec.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Zeus is Alec, and she eventually runs into him after this pep rally that she skipped because she wanted to talk to the guidance counselor about what are my options for Harvard.
Yeah.
And the guidance counselor is like, you got to pick up a sport. Sucks for her. But she
Yeah.
does ran into Alec in the hallway, and he essentially says to his friends, Vinny and Richie and the other hockey people, that she's just some chick that he used to know. Which she's
Yeah,
like, ouch,
he
okay.
does straight up tell his friends that she's kind of sketchy. And
Yeah.
like Danny has to realize because she's actually like kind of excited to see Alec. And then she realizes when they run into each other that like he's not in to see her. Like he doesn't seem happy. He's not even being
Mm-mm.
like friendly towards her. But that's all a front because at the game, he's like, oh shit, she's on my mind and this girl is hot. Whoa, whoa, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, and the next day in speech class, Danny's really nervous. She's got speech class. She's not given a speech just yet, but it does cement in her mind that this is a different Alec that she knew when she was a kid because he's just asleep in class. He's just sleeping through and he's getting the jock status of, well, he's untouchable because he's the star of the hockey team.
Yeah, he's
So
the Troy Bolton of this school.
he really is, yeah.
But he throws her a lifeline. She was really nervous. She had to do like her like all about me speech as a new student. She's not ready. She's kind of up there and she's panicking. Alex sees this and he goes chivalry mode and he's going to throw her a lifeline and say, "I really got to do my speech, Mrs. Teacher, because I've got to go to a doctor's appointment and leave early." So he kind of is able to rearrange the order here and get
Mhm.
in before Dani can make a fool of herself.
And a lot is on Alex's mind right now, on top of Danny moving back, because not only is his shoulder killing him, a reason why he was sleeping in speech class, but now Tawny, the blonde with the big tits, posted a photo of him with
Canonically, we don't know her tit size, listeners. I want to make sure that's abundantly clear.
also I also don't know if it says she's the blonde with the big tits or if it's just like in my head, but that's what her character is now.
Maggie used their imagination for this character.
So Donnie, the blonde with the big tits, posted a photo of Alec holding a bong, which is not good for his hockey future. Like he has to do some
No.
recon PR for
And to be
his
fair, I
image.
really thought he was going to confront this girl because, like, he said he was interested in her. But you want to know what? Instead, she gets dropped entirely from the plot. We don't talk about Tawny ever again. We hate her. She's ruining Alex's chances at hockey stardom.
Yeah,
Um,
he's got to figure out what he's gonna do for NHL, but because he's trying to go to the NHL, guys. That's the whole
I
thing.
mean,
He
yeah,
wants to go to the
he's a hockey
NHL.
god. But we also learned that Alec kind of can't stay away from Dani. He does see her like eating alone in the library and just reading during lunch, and she's like, and he just immediately like follows her in there, and so do all of his friends, and she's like, "Whoa, I'm reading here." And Cassie starts to introduce to Dani, who's having trouble with extracurriculars for Harvard. Hey, maybe you could like help manage the team with me. And Dani's like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it feels like Alec is in the business of kind of saving Danny's social life because his mom clued in that she's had a pretty hard time in the schools that
Yeah.
she's gone to. And now that he also knows that Harvard is still a dream of hers, he's like, what if you get that on the resume? Cassidy is also like, "Come on, you're
Yeah,
friends with Alec. Get him to ask the coach. He'll do whatever Alec wants him to do." Um,
exactly.
and that is where they leave. And Cassidy's like, "Listen, I'll make you fall in love." Shows her around the rink. And they watch hockey practice, and she's like, "Confront Alec after hockey practice," but she's not gonna do that. She's too
Yeah,
pissed.
yeah. Cassie's like, Alec can just get you like green check mark in at this role super fast because like the coaches will do whatever he needs.
Mhm.
But as she is kind of like, I'll maybe talk to him, her dad calls her and he sucks.
Oh
Danny's
god,
dad's an
he
awful
sucks.
guy. He's like a colonel in the military. That's why like she lived in Germany for so long. And he's like, hey, little daughter, I have an idea. What if I relocate to Nebraska so I could be closer to you? And she's like, oh, that would be so fun. I'd love to get to visit you more. And he goes, no, no, no. You'd have to pick me and live with me in Nebraska. I would only leave Germany if you agreed to leave living with your mom and move in with me. So he basically is giving her an ultimatum of like, I'm either staying in Germany or you're going to live with me in Nebraska.
So she wants to find a quiet space where she can sob because no shit.
Yeah.
She goes to what she assumes is an empty locker room. It is the men's locker room. The lights turn on. Who is standing there in his boxers sopping wet because he just had a shower?
Ay,
But
ay,
Alec.
ay.
Alec is there. And she explains to him that, without going into detail, her dad called. She's upset about it. Alec has a crazy line here about like, damn, I could never resist her daddy issues. Which
And so they're hugging as he's like basically naked and she's just sobbing. And a coach finds them and somehow takes this as like this isn't like a romantic moment. And it's like, dude, this girl's clearly crying, but okay. Um
yeah,
so
and it's just not
yeah.
gonna be good because he just got caught with the bong. The coaches are like, all right, now he's fucking some girl in the locker room. And he's like,
Yeah.
no, 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 this is Mick's granddaughter. It's chill. We're just fine. We're childhood friends. They're not gonna listen to him.
Yeah, but he comes up with a perfect plan and he goes, yeah. Danny's grandfather is Mick the legend. And also, we're basically dating now. So the coaches all basically start to think that they're dating. And then Alec is like, shit, now I like need this to happen. So they're all on my side.
Yeah, and also scouts will be like, wow, look at this power couple, hockey royalty. This
Yeah,
is a great idea.
basically.
So later that night, Alec sneaks in, explains the whole thing to Danny as a pitch in her room. He's like, people will be talking about the locker room anyways. Why not just fake date? And Danny is like, well, I also kind of need to get a social life here. And I would not, you don't want to be slut shamed in high
I
school.
also
Like,
love that this implies because like the locker room was empty. It was literally just like Alec, Danny, and the coaches. So this implies that these coaches are going to stir shit and spread the rumor that they were in the locker room together.
I feel like that's so quintessential high school teachers, though. They love to be in on the gossip too.
Oh,
And
so
listen,
true.
now that I'm at the age of a high school teacher, yeah, I want to know what's up with it's like reading a little Teen Vogue tabloid.
And so while Alec is proposing this deal to Danny, Danny's like, I don't know about this one. But Benji comes over because he's staying at his dad's this weekend, who's next door. And we learn very quickly that Alec and Benji fucking hate each other.
They just have beef like none other. And Alec is like, "Why are you even talking to him?" And Danny's like, "He lives next door. I don't know what is all of this energy that you are giving me right now." And it seems that Alec and Benji are on rival hockey teams. And Benji's always dogging on Alec for being poor. And one night at a party, Alec punched him in the face because he was like, "I'm not gonna stand up for this. I can't deal with this anymore."
Yeah. No. And so yeah, he hates that. We get like a little flashback here where Alec is remembering how Danny did not come to the hospital when his dad was like obviously like on his like shoulder surgery deathbed. No, he didn't have surgery. He was in a car accident.
No, he got T-boned
Yeah,
and
he was in a
he
car
broke a
accident.
ton of
Alex with the
shit.
shoulder issue.
Yeah.
But Alec's not giving up on this deal yet. After he goes home, he calls her again. He's persistent, if nothing else. And he's like, here are all the pros of if you pretend to date me. And she's like, okay, maybe I'll think about it.
After much pleading on the phone, she's like, "You know what? I'll be hockey manager and we can fake date and it's also a great way for them to get to know each other again."
Yeah.
And she's like, "It'll be great too because people won't slut shame me." They're big on that in college
Huge on that. And Danny's
or high
like, "So
school.
how are we doing this? Are we doing like soft launch? Are we doing hard launch?" And Alex immediately like hard launch, grabs her hand. They're walking through the hallway at school the next day. He's sitting her with her in the library during lunch. He's leaving gummy bears in her locker. And
Mhm.
Danny immediately is like, "I'm into this." Like
Danny
she
is like,
folds so fast.
oh my god, she's like, "Wow, when he puts the pressure on him, he puts the pressure on." He's like holding her hand, playing with her scarf. I don't know. I
Yeah.
also would fold. I'd be
Yeah,
like,
it's
"What
cute.
the
It's
fuck is
cute.
happening?"
POV from Alec, we also are getting him realizing, like, I still kind of have a crush on this girl, okay.
Mhm.
And they're kind of they're doing the thing. They're doing the fake dating thing, and it's kind of clear that they both have a little crush on each other still.
Yeah, he gives her his winter hat. He's like, "You're gonna freeze out here, Collins." He also calls her by her last name, which
Yeah,
I'm into. I'm into
yeah.
it. I like it.
Very much makes sense for his character.
He's rallying hard for her because at practice he asked Coach if she can be a co-manager of the team with Cassidy, and Coach is like, "Yeah, that works." So he FaceTimes her to tell her that night, and they have a little banter going on. But he's remembering, he's like, "I can't get in too deep because she was not there when my dad was in the hospital. She was hanging out with
Yeah.
Benji, my rival." So,
Whew, yeah. But Danny adapts pretty easily to this new life that she has with Alec. She's really liking her little manager job. She really likes watching him play hockey. But in the creeping moments of Danny's mind, she's remembering what it was like to move schools a lot when she was younger and how it kind of felt like she was forgotten every time she moved. So
mhm.
she's kind of has that weighing on her that this could all be taken away at a moment's notice.
Yeah, they have a big team dinner at Vinny's the night before the big game, as a lot of sports will do in high school. And she is feeling super at home, but she is remembering that people were always really mean to her. She was at a school in Texas at one point, and all of these girls were nice, only to kind of ostracize her behind her face. And
Mhm.
she had like an ex who ended up ghosting her once she left, truly just stopped texting her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's very, very hesitant because everyone just kind of dropped her at one point.
Yeah. Alex's dad does fall at this little team dinner that they're having. So he's really tense after the fact. And he takes Danny home and he sees that like Benji's car's in the driveway. And he's like, you know what we should do? We should make out right here so Benji probably sees it. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
I love the dialogue because he's like, "Please let me kiss you. Please, 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 please let me kiss
Please.
you." And I could just like hear it. And she's like, "Sure." So they kiss, and apparently it's so intimate that Grandpa Mick is on the patio. He clears his throat. He's like, "I need to talk to you." So Danny's
Yeah.
kind of moping in, and he goes, "No, no, no, I need to talk to you," and points at Alec, and he's like, "Fuck."
Yeah, yeah. The kiss was so much that Grandpa Mick had to set some boundaries with Alec, and he's like, "Hey, can't tell you what to do. Don't love this, but let's establish some common ground." So, in the end of it, Alec and Grandpa Mick kind of have a mutual respect for each other, I
Exactly. He
guess.
basically is just like, she got hurt at her last school. You got to be nice to her. And Alex, like, I promise I care about her. It's not just a whole thing. And then they both are kind of like, "Man, that Benji kid next door fucking sucks, doesn't he?" And they're like,
Hey,
"Yeah,
hey,
Maserati. He's driving
liking
a
the same
Maserati."
person will bring you closer together than anything. Alec is dressed up in like a suit for school the next day, and Danny's like, "This is hot." But Danny's dad is also persistently texting her, like, "Hey, we need to talk about like this whole ultimatum I've given you. So like, remember that that's gonna be like a whole thing."
hmm but there, yeah, it's game day. The whole town is excited. Alec does really well at this
Yeah,
game,
they win.
and they win. Congrats. Afterwards, people are gonna go to Richie's to celebrate, but she still is like, "I don't really know where people stand with me, so I'm gonna go with my mom to, I don't know." One of her friends have like a basement bar,
No,
which
so
is
there's
very Midwestern.
like a society basement bar called The Crow that all the adults go and hang out at.
Was it the Crow? I thought it was like just one of her friends had a
I
basement
think it
bar.
was The Crow because then Alec and everybody else show up because like they decided Richie's wasn't the vibe, so they all end up playing darts.
Yeah, eventually the whole team gets there. They're playing darts, and while playing darts, they start playing a dare in darts, dare and go.
Mhm.
And someone dares Alec to kiss Dani in front of Mick. So they're kissing, and Mick sees it again, and he's like, "This is
Whoa,
so
whoa,
disrespectful.
whoa.
Stop doing this."
Stop doing this. So they both go out for air because they're like, it got pretty steamy in this little basement bar, huh? And they're both kind of realizing internal monologue, like, I kind of like kissing this person. Whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Um,
Dani and Mick have a moment later
yeah.
too where since their relationship is also budding and they're trying to figure out where they stand in each other's lives, she plays 20 questions with him, and he reveals that Danny's mom had a scholarship, had a whole life going for her in college. She became pregnant with Danny, and then essentially Danny's dad kind of bullied her into dropping out of college, and Mick was like, "You can come live with me and I will take care of you and the baby." And Danny's dad was like, "Fuck that. I'm taking her to an Air Force base with me," and was like,
Yeah,
"You're
yeah,
never going to talk to her again."
yeah. Danny's dad sounds like he gave mom an ultimatum, so that's why Grandpa Mick never really liked her because, or liked him because he really made his daughter like give up everything just to like be a mom instead.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
fair.
big shift. We get Alec and Dani going on a date at the mall to like continue to flaunt their little pretend plan. And
Yeah,
then
guys, hey guys, try to guess where they go. You're never gonna guess. They go to the Rainforest Cafe. And they have like the world's deepest talk. Like unintentionally, this is a very funny scene because they're both talking about how he is afraid he's not good enough at hockey, and she is like, "People were really mean to me, and I'm just like nervous that everyone's gonna
and then
hate
the
me."
monkeys are going ah ah.
Every 30 minutes, there's thunder going off. Also, she's talking about like her parents' divorce. Can you imagine that in the middle of like the animatronic animals screeching?
In the middle of the rainforest demonstration at the Rainforest Cafe.
But they do solidify their couple hockey royalty status because Danny goes, "Let me get that." Takes a photo on Alec's phone, uploads it to what I think is a new Instagram that she makes for him with the
Yeah.
caption, "Dinner at the Rainforest Cafe because she likes the sound of thunderstorms." Then book shopping at Barnes and Noble. Hashtag perfect date. Don't know why this caption really made me laugh.
It was a lot. It really like out of everything they're doing, like that's the thing that I'm like, yo, you guys are like that's the fake part of this. Like, why are you announcing all of
It's
that?
yeah, I don't know. Like having it's felt so cringe to me having a waitress take a photo of them and then uploading it with that caption.
Yeah, they're in high school. That's embarrassing. So they go to the bookstore, and Danny learns about Alec's like shoulder and to like what length of severity it is. So Danny's gonna take him to Walgreens to get some like icy hot lotion, and then they end up in like a family stall bathroom, and he takes off his shirt, and she's helping him put on this lotion on his like shoulder,
In like a
and
mom lactation room.
yeah, it's and like it shouldn't be hot like doing this cuz like she's just putting like lotion on like an injured shoulder, but they're both eating this up.
They're both like holding their breath. Afterwards, they scramble apart real quick because I think someone is knocking on the door, and then they're
Yeah.
brought back to reality. I imagine she's just hypnotized, just rubbing lotion in circles on his back. And the PR of their relationship is doing super well for Alec because now not only are people like, "Alec's kind of hot shit," he's playing super well too now.
Yeah, yeah,
And
but
he gets
things
a little spread in the newspaper of
yeah,
not only
things
is he
are like
playing well, they're like,
like
"You're dating Mick Boone's daughter?"
yeah, to be fair, this plan is going like seamlessly well. Like nothing bad is happening. No one's questioning it. Everything's perfect and turning up
Mhm.
roses. Um, Danny, also to acclimate herself into this culture, she decides she wants to play like the rec boot hockey game with all of the non-hockey players.
Mhm.
So her grandpa's going to train her, and Alec's really excited that she's learning how to play hockey.
Yeah, she plays something called broom ball, which to be honest, no idea what it is,
Yeah,
but I think she loses, she wins. I don't know. She goes super hard on it. He's super proud of her. He gives her a piggyback ride afterwards, and she's like, "But your shoulder." Everyone's ears peek up. They're like, "What are they talking about?" His
yeah, and we
shoulder,
learned
and
that
he's
he
fine.
doesn't tell anybody about how bad his shoulder actually is.
Mhm.
After they go to a party at Bryce's, one of them high school hockey guys, and Alec overhears that she might have to move again because she's like telling some of the girls about it, and he is not happy about that.
No, and when he gives her the opportunity to tell him the truth, she's just like, "Oh, you know how the colonel's being. My dad is being cuckoo bananas again." And he's like, "Okay, so she doesn't trust me." He also overhears her telling her friends that she should be mad at him for what he did, but she's not. She's kind of endeared to him. And he's like, "What the fuck is she talking about? She's been the problem in our past the entire time." And this kind
Yeah,
of makes him be like, I gotta close up. I gotta put my walls up. I was
yeah,
slipping at the Rainforest Cafe. I can't be caught slipping again at the
yeah,
Rainforest
yeah, yeah.
Cafe.
He's like, I fell too hard at the Rainforest Cafe. I gotta reel it back in.
Hashtag perfect date.
So Danny can't help but notice how like off Alec is. Like he's acting weird, but she's kind of shrugging it off. Ahead of another game that's coming up, Alec's also being super nervous. So Danny comes over and asks him to go on a walk, and she's just kind of like checking in on him, seeing like what's up, and they end up falling in the snow and kissing.
Yeah, they fall in this bank where, I don't know, they tumble in the snow as he's explaining that he's like, I have to afford all my family bills. I have to make the NHL. And she is like, You are 18. Relax.
Yeah.
And they're making out, but it is cut short because a neighbor turns on the porch light and Danny's like, Alec, we have to stop making out. The neighbor is watching us.
Danny's dad does call her and like basically demands that she make a decision. And she's also like, kind of like, I can't deal with this and the fact that I'm overthinking everything with this guy that I'm fake dating, but actually really like.
Yeah, they're both catching feelings. And Alec, the next day before this semifinals game, before they go to the big game at the X, he texts Danny and is like, Listen, I am a superstitious person. We need to recreate the moment that you were in the locker room, you fell into me, our chains, because Alec has a chain, they
Yeah.
got tangled. Please, 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 please come in the locker room. I'm shirtless. I'm here. I'm ready for you.
So yeah, they have to recreate the moment of him being basically naked and hugging her and their chains getting intertwined. She agrees and they are flirting hard during
Great
this.
moment. So the chains, the first time, chain doesn't get tangled. Second time, chains get tangled, and he's like, let me dexterously untangle this with my nimble little fingers. And he's also like, I think I also kissed you on the neck when we did this the first time. She knows
Yeah.
it's a lie, but she's like, sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
She's
So
not
he's
going to
kissing
say
her on the
no.
neck. They start making out. They hear a noise, and she's like, "We gotta, we really gotta stop this." Like the amount of times they've been so close to, and now he's shirtless.
Yeah.
So many times they've been so close to just
So
going
again, but
full
nothing
send.
bad's gonna happen. They're riding high. There's a pasta party at Alex. Grandpa Mick gets
Vibe shift.
again, yeah, a huge shift. Everybody's clothed now.
Everyone's clothed at the pasta party.
Grandpa's gonna get her a hockey jersey to show her how, like, again, acclimated to this hockey society that she is, and everything's again going swimmingly. They're ready for the game the next day.
So Danny wakes up Alec the next morning. Cute. Alec is like, I don't want to get up. And Danny's like, I bought donuts. And Alec's like, I'm listening. So it's big game day. Bad news for Danny, though, because her dad has texted and is like, guess what? Surprise. I'm here. I flew
Yeah,
in.
nothing like paints a picture of the type of person Danny's dad is as the part where he wasn't getting enough texts or calls from her. So he straight up flew from Germany to Minnesota to corner her at her job extracurricular for school to make her make a decision.
So she's like, My dad's here. This game is really close. My dad's here. I am so stressed out. But the game goes really well. They end up pulling ahead for the win, and they all go onto the court, the rink, the ice rink, the rink,
Yes. Yeah.
where they play hockey.
Yeah.
After they're like, We're going to get a photo of everyone. And she tells Alec in this moment of riding this high of this win that she was a second party to. She just watched it. She's like,
She shot a video for their social media, Meggie.
You're right. Sorry. I shouldn't discount
That's
her.
just as important as the points.
You're right. You're right. She tells him that she doesn't want to pretend anymore. She wants this to
No.
be real. And he's like, slow down. say what you're saying one more time. Everyone's like, Alec, look at us. You got to take a photo. He goes, pause. Say what you just said right again. And she goes, I just want it to be real, but if you don't, that's fine. We can keep faking it. It's fine. And he disrupts her little spiral with a smoocheroonie, a
Yeah.
big smoocheroonie. I hope they got it on camera.
Yeah. Yeah. So they take their team photo and then he immediately like takes her outside and he's like, you're being serious, 100% for serious. So they're basically agreeing that like they're doing it for real this time. The fake part of the dating is over.
It's over. They are full send hard launching it.
Yeah.
But as they are making out outside, and Richie and Vinny are like, get in, we're going to the Crow. And Alex like, stop it. They overhear Danny's parents fighting with Grandpa Mick, basically chewing her dad's ass out for being selfish once again and trying to manipulate her love of him into
Yeah.
like, I don't know, groveling. So she is like, Alec, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. I think I'm going to be really overstimulated if we go to a place with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And let's just go to the spot. Let's go to the
Yeah.
shed that we
Yeah.
used to go to
Alec,
in middle school.
newly appointed to boyfriend status, is like, yep, let's blow off the Crow. Let's go back to the childhood spot. Danny brings champagne and they text the other hockey players and are like, let's all hang out here. And what they're going to do is they're going to make out till the rest of the gang shows up.
They are. She takes a sip of the champagne that he's just stolen from somewhere, and he like sucks it out of her mouth. I mean, I'm really not kidding.
Canonically, he sucks it out of her mouth.
So the champagne sucking is happening when who shows up like worst time, but
Yeah,
Benji, and
not
he's
good.
like, I saw your little piece of shit car driving with this girl that I'm obsessed with, and you were taking her to the middle of nowhere, so I followed you. And Alec is like, who asked you? Little
Yeah.
fedora wearing blazer facial hair guy.
Yeah, Benji shows up looking like a Sherlock detective. He's got a trench coat and a little fedora on. He's like, listen here, I followed your shit car.
He's twirling his little pocket watch. just
Yeah,
next to
yeah.
him. So he is also kind of indicating, oh my god, he knows exactly how to piss Alec off because he's like, well, remember that time that I brought her to the shed? Danny, we spent a lot of hours here. And she goes, Benji, stop. And he goes, that's not what you said. And before, crazy, first of all, what that implies, before he can even get his words out, Alex just fucking socks him in the face.
Yeah, what's wild to me here is like Benji's fully insinuating that they fully hooked up here. Danny is not denying it. And we also never get confirmation of what actually happened between Benji and Danny inside this area.
We don't. It's been
And,
driving
it's
me
driving me
crazy.
crazy. I'm like, just tell me. Did they just kiss or what did they do? Did they even do anything?
I don't know because like why would her mom bring up that Benji looks cute in the beginning if it
I
wasn't
don't
like
know. Like that's
my
the
parents wouldn't say
thing.
that unless I had like a crush on them. They'd be like,
Something
"Is that
again, like
cute?"
it's like the vibes are weird. Something had to have happened, but we never know what it is, and it also still could be nothing.
So Alec just winds up, punches him in the face. This is bad news because Alec is 18. Apparently punching is illegal in Minnesota. I don't know if it's like assault, but
It's a form of assault.
they
So
indicate punching in general is illegal, and he is 18, which would mean that this is a federal crime. Assault is a federal crime for him. Not looking good for his hockey future.
no.
And he is freaking out after this, after Danny brings him away to be like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen for me.
And Alec, he's a smart boy. He tells his parents, like, hey, fucked up a little bit. My bad. And his parents are like, we'll figure it out. Like, everything's going to be fine. And Danny decides to skip a step and take matters into her own hands. She's going to go talk to Benji to go, like, please don't tell the police about this. Which is also, like, even if Benji did go to the police, like, wouldn't it just be, like, Benji's friend's words against Danny's words? This isn't a case if there's no, like, video evidence of it, you know?
I know, I don't know, but she goes and begs, and Benji's like, no, I fucking hate that. Wait a minute. Actually, I will not go to the police if you do this one thing for me that will fuck with his head because he's wanted it his entire life. Break up with him.
Yeah.
You
And
break
I
up with him,
honestly,
I won't squeal.
see, I kind of thought Benji was going to be like, you have to date me instead. Like,
I
the
thought so
stakes
too.
should be higher, but, like, that's not it. Because also, Benji doesn't go to their school, so couldn't they just, like, fake break up for a little bit if she, like, told Alex about it and, like, everything would be fine? She agrees too fast. She
This
doesn't quite.
relationship is not built on trust whatsoever, 'cause why not
No!
just fake break up? You've been fake dating the whole book.
Literally! Like, and, like, Danny, what the hell are you doing? Work on your negotiation skills.
Oh my god, I know. So, I mean, she just like a dog with its tail between its legs, cowers away and goes immediately to Alex to break up with him.
Yeah, and he's already like, "You're being weird, like, tell me what's going on," and she's like, I'm breaking up with you, that's what's going on," and he's like, "No, you're being weird right now, just tell me."
She's like, I don't know, just seeing you that angry just scared me and valid, but also she is crying and he's like, I don't think you want to do this, but she's like, enough. We're done. And then she leaves and he's like, you know what? I should have expected this from you. You were so selfish. You stopped responding to my letters. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You stopped responding to my letters. But she mostly does not want to rehash this argument. She just gets out of there because Alec is really going to town insulting her.
Yeah, and Danny goes home in tears, and her mom's like, "Hey, Dad's staying in Germany. He told me and not you." So I'm relaying that information. But Danny's also realizing that she's really, really liking it here at this school, but she's also going to skip school for the next few days because she's so heartbroken.
And her status of liking it is really cemented in her head because Cassie and Lily come over and they're like, we just wanted to check on you because we know the breakup was super hard. Are you still going to go to the game at the X? This is where Danny does learn that Alec will be playing Benji's team. And she's like, oh, yeah, the pieces are coming together for me now.
Yeah, yeah. And we also get a backstory here that Alec did get arrested at one point for his initial punching of Benji at that one party that they were at. So like the ties run deep. But the
Yeah.
next day, Grandpa's like, "You gotta go to school, kid." Um, but instead, she tells him everything on the way to school, and he's like, "We're going to the bar, kid." Which, like, honestly, hell yeah, Grandpa Mick.
I love Grandpa Mix. So they go to the bar to watch the game instead so she can keep a bit of distance. And the game is really close. As it's heating up, Danny's dad calls her and they have a moment where he apologizes. And after the dust has settled from that and it seems like it's chill, he's like, by the way, Sarah's kid, Alec, he's actually pretty cool. I thought he was a creep, so I was just like intercepting all the letters. I was throwing them away, but he's actually kind of a nice guy. And she's like, what the hell are you talking about? So neither of their letters were getting to each other. They
Yeah,
both
so she
thought they were
didn't
ghosting
stop
each other.
responding because she didn't think she was getting letters. Alec kept responding, but they were getting thrown away. But as she's processing this information on the TV screen, Alec collapses on the ice, and Danny and Grandpa immediately know what hospital to go to, apparently.
They do, yeah. Alec collapses because Benji's just like tossing him into the wall. This is
Yeah,
revenge. She's just really. And then Benji has to go sit out. And this is actually how the
time
team
out.
wins because Benji's so vindictive. They're like, all right, you're going to be in the penalty box forever.
Yeah,
Your
so
team's going to suffer.
Alec needs emergency soldier surgery because, it was hanging on by a thread. Grandpa Mick is talking to Alec via text from Danny because Danny's like, it's just too painful for me to talk to him. So,
It's really funny. He brings his favorite candy bar, and I imagine, when you're with friends and they're like texting and they're also having a conversation with you, and you're trying to see their phone, and you're like, "What are you talking about? What are you saying? Why am I not in this conversation?" That's what I imagine. Is like Mick is checking. He's like, "And now I need to know how you're feeling. I want you to know it will not hurt your chances at NHL." And Alec is like, "Who is telling you? Who is telling you to say these things to me?"
yeah, and so finally Alec's like, Danny, like, just get in here. Like, I know you're literally lurking around the corner. So she comes in and he's like, you gotta stop lying to me. Like, I'm not really into that. So she vents and tells him all about how Benji made her break up with him and all of the
Yeah, because
stuff.
she's so angry because he's like, "Don't you know I can die in surgery like a psycho?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "What do you mean? That's not funny to joke about."
And also Alec then just kind of demands that they're back together. So that was kind of weird too.
He's like, "Okay, so Benji forced you to break up with me." Yes. Your dad was hoarding all of the letters? Yes. So none of that was real? Yes. Are your feelings still real? Yeah. And he's like, "So then we're back together. Back together." And she's like, "Wait, we need to have a
And he's like,
conversation."
shush, 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 shush. We're back together.
Stop it, we're back together. And she's like, Okay, I guess we're back to
Yeah, so they make up, and the parents interrupt them as then Alec gets wheeled off to surgery. Then we get a lovely little epilogue where we learn that Benji is going to play hockey at Boston, and Dani finally got into Harvard after like being waitlisted or something. And that's the book.
I love when things work out and you get to be in the same city in college as your high school sweetheart, I guess.
Yeah, Maggie, that sounded really sincere.
Well, I don't know. I
Like,
was
yeah,
like,
I really love when you get to stay in your high school relationship. That's
ship, uh,
great.
you get to find love and stay in it. It's really, yeah, it's a great time.
It's
I
yeah, it's
didn't
gonna
do
work
that.
out for everybody. It always does. Like everything is good when
I
that
mean, and if
sort of
you're
thing
a
happens.
listener and you married our high school sweetheart, be sure to rate us 5 stars. Tell us about your love experience on Apple Podcast and maybe Spotify if you can leave a review. We'd love to hear it because mostly we need 5 star
Yeah, yeah,
reviews.
yeah. We really need engagement. So like please email us. Please engage with the algorithms. That's really helpful. You can also follow us on TikTok where you can see little fun clips of just the good stuff of these episodes.
That is true. Please do follow us because
Just
it
the
takes
bits.
me hours to edit.
Yeah, Maggie's doing a really good job, and Maggie needs the validation, and we again need
I
the
really do. It's been a
engagement.
hard week.
So it's
And
been a
we're not
hard
gonna
week.
have a top five, just because
Yeah, Maggie
we're
had a
not
dream
going
they were
to.
dating Jerry Seinfeld last night, so we had to opt out of the top five.
It's
Condolences,
been a
please.
really hard week, you guys. You don't
Yeah, we will
understand.
take condolences. We will take your 5-star reviews, and we will take your comments of uh, just um, um just really supporting Maggie through this difficult.
Only your 5 star review can save me from dating Jerry Seinfeld in my dreams. Please free me from this prison of my
Please
mind.
help my bestie. They need it.
Okay, and I think that that's gonna be the episode for Pig's
That's it. That's
sake.
the episode. We're done. We have to go. It's time. And we
Love
love
you.
you and we will be back so soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.